Oh, welcome to Vanderbilly.com. This is part two of a lesson on Black Betty, and in part one we covered the intro and the verse. And this part we're going to cover the bridge, and in part three we're going to cover the intro lead. So let's get started. Okay, the bridge continues with the same partial chords that you've been using on the 7th and 9th frets on the D, G, and B strings. Okay, so you're going to go into it immediately after singing Bam-a-lam the last time in the second verse. The basic figure is 4 upstrokes on the 7th fret, 1 downstroke on the 9th fret, and 1 upstroke on the 7th. So. Alright, and then what you do after that varies. So the first time you play A string 7th fret, A string 9th fret, D string 7th fret, D string 9th fret, and then jump immediately to the A string 5th fret, and you give it a little quarter bend, and come down on the E string 7th fret, and slide off. So. Right. The second time you play that same opening. All right, then you're going to play A string 7th, A string 9th, D string 7th, D string 9th, jump to the G string 5th fret and give it the little quarter bend, and then land on the D string 7th. Give it some vibrato. Then you take a beat and play this D, G, B 7th fret thing with an upstroke and slide off. So that should sound like this slowly. Okay? So the third time you play that same thing again, and the fourth time you go back to what you played the first time. Now at this point there are twin lead guitars that come in, and they do a series of hammers and pull-offs. In the full-length version, these lead into a very long solo, which ends again with the same bridge being played again. In the shorter version, the bridge is just followed by another rendition of the intro and then the third verse. So I'm going to play it as if we're going into the third verse. If you have only one guitar, so you can play only one of the two twin riffs, you're going to want to play this one. So you start at the 8th fret. I'm sorry. You start at the A string 7th fret, and you hammer to the 8th and 9th chromatically. Then you move over to the D string, hammer from the 7th to the 9th, and pull off to the 7th. And then you land on the 9th fret of the A string. All right? You want to practice this until you only have to pick the first note, and everything else is just done by the hammers and pull-offs. So it should sound like very slowly, if I can do it slowly. And you notice the string noise in there. Something you can do is you could put your hand on the heel, or the heel of your hand rather, on the lower part of the strings near the bridge, and that'll kill some of that string noise, so you get more of a... So you just have to work with it so it's not too muted. Okay. So then you take that same figure, and you're just going to move it to the A string. I'm sorry, to the D string, and you're going to do the same thing on the D and G strings. So. Then you're going to move it over to the G and B strings, do the same thing. So far we have, I'll try and do it slowly again. And it's actually much easier to do that faster. Rolls along nicely. Then, when you're on the B string, you're going to do a series of chromatic hammer-ons. So first it's 7, 8, 9, then 8, 9, 10, so you just move up one fret, then 9, 10, 11. Then you move over to the E string and you play 9, 10, and 11 there, but you're going to hold the the 10, the middle one, for a little bit. So it's like, and you play that last note, the 11th, 3 more times. So it's, and then you do a trill from the 11th fret to the 14th, like this. And then, you know, at that point you'd go back to the intro and the verse. So the whole thing together, first at a moderate speed, would be all right. Now, if you have 2 guitars and you want to have the twin lead thing going, basically what the second one is doing is obviously, you know, something similar, but you're starting on the E string 5th fret, and so you're going to play that same figure. Then you're going to move to the A string 7th fret, which is where you started the other one. Then the D string 7th fret. And then you're going to move up the G string chromatically. 7, 8, 9. 8, 9, 10. And 9, 10, 11. But then instead of just crossing over to 8, 9, 10, on the B string, you have to remember that, you know, you've got an interval there, so you have to move up to the 10, 11, 12. So that's, and then you do the same thing. The other one's doing, all right, and that's the twin guitar bit. That pretty much covers the bridge. In the last part, we're going to look at the lead that's played during the intro and comes before each verse.